This bill seeks to regulate and restrict, where appropriate, sex offenders from travelling abroad in the interest of common good to protect people outside the state from serious harm. It seeks to amend the Sexual Offenders Act 2001 and to provide for related matters. Firstly, I want to acknowledge the efforts of former Deputy of this House, Maureen O'Sullivan, who introduced this bill in 2018. I would also like to thank and acknowledge the work of Father Shay Cullen and Grania Kenny of Preda Foundation for their support for this bill. Father Shay has a distinguished record of working with women and children in the Philippines to protect them from sex slavery and exploitation. And as a native of my own constituency, I bestowed a civic award on him for his work in the Philippines in 2017. I also want to acknowledge and thank the great work of Grania Kenny, also from my constituency, for her active work and support and encouragement on this bill. Grania is a board member of the Preda Foundation. She has worked with communities and indeed internationally for decades to counter the impact of drugs and exploitation of women and children. And it is fitting that this bill is restored today after the annual EU Anti-Trafficking Day yesterday. This bill will give judges the powers to restrict foreign travel entirely or to require an application to be made to the court for permission to travel. Currently, sex offenders must notify the Gardaí if they intend to travel outside the jurisdiction for more than 7 days. This works well where there is good cooperation between police forces and high child protection standards, for example in the North or the UK or across EU. Issues arise where countries do not have high child protection standards. I understand Australia has introduced similar legislation, and I want to thank my colleagues Deputy Niamh Smith and James Lawless for their support for the bill, and also Senator Robbie Gallagher, and I look forward to working with colleagues to pass this legislation. Cormac Devlin.